Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. Conditioner is better. I make the hair silky and smooth. Oh really, fool? Oh really? Stop looking at me, Swan. Hello. It's time we take a look at Billy Madison. And before I get into a review, I have a story to tell. So, when I was younger, about 5 years ago, I was a little bit thinner and a little bit dumber. I used to hang out with a friend of mine. You know him as Eric, and that's funny because there's an Eric in this film. But we used to hang out. We used to, get all messed up on energy drinks, buzzed, and there was this point where I think I was ripped on 2 energy drinks that night. And he was sitting over here on my computer while my computer was, that's how the computer was sitting over here. And I was in the bedroom, and I don't know why. And I was staring at the wall, ripped out on 2 energy drinks. And all of a sudden, I just went, "Stop looking at me, Swan!" And he's over here cracking up. And then I'm still out of it. This continues because this is another phrase that I say most of the time. Is that I'm sitting there. Conditioner spilled on my pants. I'm going to wash them anyway. I'm sitting there and I'm going, I want to watch something. Well, watch something. I don't know what to watch. And then I look down and I had my Rocky DVD set at the time and I go, I don't want to watch Rocky. Because it was just right there sitting on the floor next to me. I don't want to watch Rocky. And that's become a catchphrase. Whenever something Rocky pops up, I'll just say, I don't want to watch Rocky. So, yes. Stop looking at me, Swan. But yes, Billy Madison. Another one of the Adam Sandler movies that I grew up with. If I can speak English here. And you know what it is. If you haven't seen this movie, what's wrong with you? Are you nuts? Adam Sandler plays Billy Madison, the titular character, and his dad owns this whole chain of hotels, and his dad's going to retire and give it to Eric, who is a bad, bad man, and Billy doesn't want Eric to get control of the company, so he challenges his dad because his dad says that Billy never actually passed high school or anything. So he challenges him 2 weeks and 2 days for each class. I'm not sure that really equals up. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 7, 14 days. You're not talking about the... So it's essentially 10. So... First, second, third, fourth. You only get into 10th grade in 2 weeks. School week. So you have to go an extra 2 days just to get to the 12th grade. It's more than 2 weeks because it's 2 days for each one, right? So it's more than 2 weeks. So I don't understand. Because you get up to 2 days. And so it's 2 days for first grade, second grade, and third grade. That's the end of the first week, beginning of the next week. 4th grade, 5th grade, that's the end of the second week, beginning of the third week. 5th grade, it's more than 2 weeks, it's like a month, if even. I don't understand. Or is it 2 weeks per grade? Because that would work, but that would be months. But then towards the end, Eric says you had 2 weeks. So I don't understand. I guess I don't understand. But... yes, so he goes back to school to achieve victory. He goes back to school to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool. Got my lunch packed up, my boots tight. I hope I don't get in a fight. Oh, back to school. Yes, he sings that song waiting for the bus. He misses the bus, so his dad has to get right. Thank you, Daddy. So, yes. Then, yeah. They focus on, like, when he gets to they don't focus on all of them. They kind of skip, like, the first 3 grades that he does. Like, first grade, they focus on the second grade. And third grade is where he meets Veronica Vaughn. Oh, hot. Want to touch the hiney. Oh. Played by Bridget Nelson Sampras. Or Bridget Nelson just here. Bridget Wilson. Sorry. Bridget Wilson. I can't read. I can't remember stuff. So, Billy has these 2 friends. Jack and Frank. Frank is played by Norm Macdonald. The other one is played by some dude I never seen anything else ever. And I always thought, I was thinking earlier, was he supposed to be Chris Farley? And Chris Farley wasn't available for to shoot those scenes, and so they just gave Chris Farley the role of the bus driver. He's in like 2 or 3 scenes, whereas Jack is in half the film. Who knows? Chris Farley would have made more sense than whoever this guy is. I had never seen in my entire life. Never seen again, actually, after this. I suppose what was made today would probably be Kevin James. And, yeah. Well, where's Rob Schneider? He could have done it. He's not even in this movie. Which is really weird, because he's in all of Adam Sandler's movies. I don't know. But, he's not in this one or Happy Gilmore, now that I think about it. I think Waterboy is his first one he's in. You can do it all night long, So, yeah. I'm rambling incoherently here. No gibberish at the table. Sorry, Daddy. Anyway, so, one thing I thought about here. So, there's a scene. So, he is supposed to be a student. And he hits on one of the mothers. I bet he's supposed to be a student. And then he ends up dating one of the teachers. And I'm like, I know he's an adult. Alright? But he's technically a student. And I know he's not her student for the longest time. There's a couple times, he wins her over or whatever. I don't know. The lines in this film, there are a bunch of lines. Eric is pregnant. You gonna be a soccer player? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I dare you to touch her boobs. That's assault, brother. Do you double dare me? You're not cool unless you pee in your pants. Well, if peeing in your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis. I brought you some extra jalapeno joes. I made them extra jalapeno for yous. I know how yous kids love 'em jalapeno. Lady, you're scaring us. Ha ha ha. That's just Eric's laugh. Sorry. Itch, man. What else is there? The song. I thought I was your snack pack. Ew, gross. I'd trade you this banana for the rest of that snack pack. You know I can beat you up, right? Alright. I think Mortal Kombat, which they spelled wrong by the way, for the Sega Genesis is the best. I think Donkey Kong is the best. Donkey Kong sucks. You know what? You suck! They spelled it wrong! It's a K, not a C. Mortal Kombat with a K. How do I know? Because what am I talking about? I watched with the subtitles on it and spelled it with a C. Combat with a K. What's wrong with you? Damn. But yes, so Billy is doing pretty good. And then Eric comes along and messes with it. But I feel like I always felt like, so Carl, played by Mr. Heckles from Friends, shows up in Billy's tent and he tells him that Eric is up to something. And that goes nowhere because they don't try to stop him, they don't try to look into it. He's just like, okay, thanks for telling me. And then the very next scene is where Eric confronts the principal, who was the revolting blob, was a professional wrestler who accidentally killed someone because he couldn't breathe. And so he blackmails him into into saying that Billy bribed him. There is one problem with this. It would already be known. Something like that would not be kept behind a stage name. It would have went to court. He would have served some jail time for it. Accident or not. His name would be known. There's no way that no one would know who he is. That man would know. They would know who that man is, I'm trying to say. So, in common sense. Kayfabe and all that. Back in 1995, maybe they weren't looking up people's real names, but come on. It's the real world here. He would have already paid his debts for that. There's no way no one would already know about him and that and everything. But, of course, Billy gets in trouble. And the thing about, I love Darren McGavin. He was one of the best parts of Christmas Story. He's one of the best parts of this film. But the writing for him is just he's so easy to believe that, he doesn't believe in his own son. He's so easy to believe. He doesn't even question it when on the TV the guy comes up and says that Billy paid him off. He just so easily believes it and gives the company to Eric. And it's no. Common sense dictates that you ask questions, Mr. Madison. Not just, be like, okay, you bribed him, Eric gets the company, you lose. No. This, you cannot bet your company on this. On just think, oh, no, I'm not going to let my son, who deserves to have the company because of some fat guy went on TV and claimed that he was bribed. And they even go later where he's drunk and he shows up at Veronica's house. And she says that, I believe you. Well, that's something. She could have went to his dad and said, no, I know Max. He wouldn't take a bribe. Something is going on here. Something. I don't know. But that doesn't really do much because, he gets drunk again. She comes up, beats the shit out of him. We have that song. Yes, I will go back to school and achieve victory. No man will take what my father has built unless that man is me. We get that, Veronica, I thank you for beating the shit out of me. Which, when I was younger, I had to say crap. In our household, crap wasn't a swear word, but that was. And he beats the crap being out of him, and then there's this whole song and dance where the clown that fell over and died is somehow still laying there in his house. And it's like, hey, kids, it's me. I bet you thought that I was dead. No, I don't really care, Mr. Clown. And Jack and Frank, who were passed out like a moment earlier, are now just walking with him. And I get it's probably a fantasy, but after that, the kids show up at the principal's house, and he confesses that, here's the thing that always kind of bugged me. He confesses that he lied, but he doesn't, he comes out about being a revolting blob. Why doesn't he say that Eric, whatever his name is, blackmailed him? That right there would, say anything, because Billy can't prove it was Eric, but if the principal came out and said, hey, Eric, blah, blah, blackmailed me into saying this, then we wouldn't have the last act with the decathlon. It would be over, Billy would get the company, bada bing, bada boom, or he would finish the school thing, whatever. But yeah. Then they have this decathlon, and it ends with two questions that really don't go anywhere. You get that thing about the industrial revolution where he blabs on about the book, and I see where he was kind of going with it, but then he kind of just spirals. Like the industrial revolution, where he says like the puppy was growing bigger and bigger. So was industry at the time, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then he kind of spirals down. But when the guy says nowhere in that incoherent babbling did he say anything? No, he kind of started all right, and then it kind of spiraled at the end, and then they have business ethics, which you think that Eric would have if he was going to run a business, but rather than answer the question, he pulls out a gun. The revolting Bob shows up, and he's gonna shoot Veronica, and then some guy that Billy bullied in high school shows up, shoots, and he called him to apologize to him earlier in the film. So you know he's gonna come back. It's Steve Buscemi, shoots Eric in the ass, and then Billy, we get another one of the great lines. Man, I'm glad I called that guy. And which I don't know how he knew who that was, but And then Billy graduates somehow, and he gives the company to Carl, because that's a sensible thing to do. Carl knows business, Billy doesn't. And Billy's going to go to college, despite the fact that it wouldn't actually be a legally binding graduation. I can't remember what it's called. I have one. What is it? Graduation certificate. Diploma. It wouldn't be a legally binding diploma, though. This whole thing happened in 2 weeks, maybe more, a month, 2 months, whatever. But I guess you can go to college without a diploma. I guess you gotta get a GOD. Maybe they gave him a GED. Sorry, GED. Who knows? GOD is God. GED. Again? But yeah. And he's with Veronica. He kisses her, and then he has this whole thing. He kisses her, and then Frank kisses someone else. Frank kisses another teacher or something, and you got Chris Farley with a penguin. It's a funny film. So Billy's dad gets to retire. Billy saved the company from Eric. Eric doesn't get the company. He's probably going to jail after he goes to the hospital to get that bullet out of his ass. But yeah, this is a fun film. There's not really anything negative to say here. There's a few things I pointed out, but I'm not going to let that bother me. Billy Madison absolutely gets a 10. Alright? It's a 10. Because really, everything I pointed out was a nitpicks. This movie is fantastic. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. So what are your thoughts on Billy Madison? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. I tumble for ya, I tumble for ya, I tumble for ya, I tumble for you. Got to it. I tumble out for ya, I tumble for ya, I tumble for ya, I tumble.